I'm going to give you the real numbers from 1 full year of owning a buy-to-let with a tenant already in it. So the profit, the problems with taking on a tenant in situ, and a £750 payment that vanished for me for 4 months because there was a typo. A simple admin mistake that had nothing to do with me. Hi, I'm Remy. I own 2 buy-to-lets with the aim to buy another 2 in 2026. On this channel, I document the wins, the mistakes, the numbers a lot of people don't tell you. It's a small channel, so I almost bet that you haven't subscribed. If you're thinking about buying a property with a tenant already in it, keep watching because I'll show you exactly what the numbers look like and the one thing that I wish I'd known before I completed. So I bought this property with a tenant already living there. On paper, it sounds brilliant. There's no void periods and there's no finding a tenant. You've got that immediate cash flow coming in, rolling into your account. The big problem is you inherit everything. The tenancy agreement, the property condition. The big thing, any compliance issues that the previous landlord has left you behind as a little parting gift. Section 21 is dead, no fault eviction. So if the previous owner didn't do anything properly, like their right to rent checks, gas safety, that's your problem on day one. If you get it wrong, you could be fined, or worse, let's say if they don't pay their rent and you've got to evict them, this gives them a way out in court, a justification for not actually paying their rent. So of course, I did spend some time making sure the legals were correct because with no fault evictions now gone, the ability that landlords used to have in evicting tenants, well, that's massively changed now. So for that reason, if it is something where you're looking at a tenant in situ property for your first buy to let, I'd really strongly consider if that is something that you'd want to do because you need to know your stuff. Right, the numbers. Total rent received was £11,750. Here's the expenses and what went out. First of all, we've got the mortgage payments. Interest only, £6,479 over the year. Maintenance, £1,062. That consisted of a new fence because the current one was tipping over. And a new downstairs tap. Insurance, £347 for landlord insurance. Banking and other fees, about £217. So total costs over the course of the year, £8,105. That leaves £3,645 in profit. About £300 a month in my pocket from one property. If you factor in some of your initial costs, so your deposit, your stamp duty, your legals, that's a return on investment of 6.42%, which, I'll be honest, not exactly what I was aiming for. I can see the comments right now. What I will say is that's as a result of a couple of maintenance issues which aren't ongoing. That's a result of some initial costs which aren't ongoing. And equally, the property is currently below market rent as well. So, of course, it's not life-changing money, but I'll say it's not terrible either, where the potential of it is over 8.5%, and that's without taking into account any property value increases over time. But here's what doesn't show up in any spreadsheet, something no one can plan for with this, a tenant in situ. So my tenant's rent, it comes from Universal Credit. It's paid directly to me for their accommodation. It should be incredibly simple, except when I completed. Universal Credit, they didn't update their records fast enough, so the rent kept on going to the previous owner, the one who didn't own the property anymore. The kicker is, once the money had been sent, technically I had no legal right to the money. It was in their account. Yes, I contacted them, but did they have to do what's right, knowing that it didn't belong to them? Not really. Could I take them to court? Potentially, but would it be worth it over £750? Not a chance. So I had to ring Universal Credit, and if you've ever tried getting through to them, you know how that went. Most things are online, and getting to an actual person, pretty much impossible. After 4 months of chasing, finally a case handler contacted and told the old landlord that it wasn't for them and it had to be sent over, and there it was. Money that was always supposed to be coming to me, it simply took the scenic route through someone else's account. But that's the thing with a property that has a tenant in situ that no one really mentions. You're buying into someone else's admin setup and you've got to face the complications that come with that. That was money that I was fully prepared to not see and fully had written off in my head, to be fair. 4 tips now. The final 2 are the most important, so make sure you stick around for them. Tip number 1 is complete at the start of the month. With that, there's no question marks over who is owed what rent. Of course, there are ways of calculating it. Much easier, though, to complete on the 1st of the month compared to the 15th or 20th, as an example. Next one is budget for something going wrong. Set aside £1,500 or build a little bit of a cushion into your return on investment, because in property, something is going to go wrong. It's a matter of how planned you are for it. Tip number 3, one of the most important ones, verify your compliance in terms of right to rent checks, gas safety, EICR, all of your checks to make sure that you're taking on a compliant property, because you don't want to inherit someone's problems, someone's fines, someone's troubles. Final one, again, one of the most important things, verify the tenants and make sure you're comfortable with them. In reality, there's a load of reasons why landlords could sell, but a lot of them do stem down to the property and the tenants themselves. So you've got to make sure that you're completely comfortable. Even with this and my experience, it wasn't an awful experience. The tenants that I've took on are absolutely incredible, but I can't help but wonder the level of risk that was involved and what if I didn't get so lucky. But as I've always said, for the beginners out there, make sure you're prepared, make sure you're organised, because the people who run things properly in property, they're going to be the ones that come out strongest in the long run. If this was useful, please hit like, it genuinely helps the channel out. Hit subscribe if you want to follow along with the journey. Again, documenting everything, the good decisions, expensive mistakes, the properties that I'm looking to take on. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.